Hello, it's Leanne Phillipson, registered nutritionist, and we're at Cook Together. Sorry, Logan's just playing with the lights. You can just move that one in a little bit more, because it just not that long ago it started to snow here, so we had to put some lights on because it got really dark, and so it's the middle of April. And we're on self-isolation day. I'm calling it 18, but I think it's really 21 or 22 or something like that for
Technically us. 22.
Pardon?
Technically 22.
Technically 22, apparently. Well, since we got back from our trip, then we were in self-isolation for 14 days. And I've been out a couple of times to do a little bit of shopping so that I could keep on cooking with you guys. How are you doing today? How's your day? And day 2 of school for kids, if you've got kids. If not, then, it's just another day that's not really marked by anything in particular, other than Easter on the weekend. So today, I came across a bunch of stuff in the bottom of the fridge. I've got 2 not very savory looking mushrooms. I've got a piece of rather limp kale. I've got some peppers. I've got green onion, I've got a little bit of cilantro, and then I'm also going to use, Logan, could you grab me the fish from last night, please? I'm going to use the fish that we had from last night and a little bit of the red onion that I used also in the salad from last night too. So this recipe I call them mini frittatas from my book, Sprout Right Family Food. The mini frittatas are just awesome. Anybody that likes anything that's mini, as I said in the post, you tend to think, oh, mini 2-bite brownies, those are really good. Well, this guy's got a lot more protein, a lot more nutrients in it. So while the recipe recommends a kale leaf, some sweet red peppers, a tin of salmon or tuna if you want, it doesn't really matter, truthfully. You can throw nothing in this, or you can throw everything into this. So it is the perfect thing. And my lovely friend Angie said that she had made these the other night, and then she also had them for breakfast. So that is the perfect way to do it. Now, if you don't have a mini muffin tin hanging around, don't worry about it. So these are like my silicone ones that I use for pretty much everything. I used to have more of these guys. But I think I burnt the burnt one, or maybe I burnt the red one. I didn't know these things can burn, but anything's possible. But then I also have just a regular muffin tin that you can make these in. So I'm gonna mix up the mixture, and then we'll kind of just see how we're going. Now, I also don't have any dairy milk. I have almond coconut milk. Right now, I don't have anything else. So instead of using cream, which is what the recipe does recommend, it's probably important to get the liquid right. So we've got 6 eggs and a cup and a half of liquid, of milk, ideally. I think I'll use that one. Then I'm going to use coconut milk, which I use a lot in place of dairy milk. So I had a couple of posts on Facebook saying, what can I do instead of using this? This is the perfect one. And I cleared out my cupboard on the weekend, and I think I'm a bit of a hoarder of coconut milk. I came across about 8 cans of coconut milk. I guess it's because I used it so much. So what I've done here, because not all coconut milks are, there's one that I bought lately, and it had an extra ingredient in it, which would help it sort of not end up with the milk and then also the fat separated. So the reason why I have a bowl here with water in it is because when I want to just use a smaller amount of the whole can, and I'm not pouring it into soup or something like that, then I just take the can and I put it into a bowl of warm water if it's not already. So I can shake it, and there's not really any resistance. Like, it really sounds like it's just all completely liquid. So that's what I will do with that. So I'm going to open that can up. So a cup and a half of this to 6 eggs. Now, it really depends. You could even have this recipe if you wanted to. I'm going to find my cup and a half. Now, I've got a top trick for you as well. For any time that any of your coconut, there's not much left, but there's probably maybe a couple. Pour whatever you have left over from using a can of coconut milk just pour it into an ice cube tray, and then you can freeze it, and then you can hold on to it. And if you're making maybe a smoothie and you want to thicken up a little bit, you can chuck it in there. If you've just got some coffee or tea and you want to make it a little thicker, then throw that in there. Try that out for a change. See what happens then. Or I don't know, just add it into a little bit of soup, just so that you're not wasting it. So there's probably about 3 tablespoons left in that. So we've got the coconut milk, and then I'll put my 6 eggs in. I was toying with the idea of making half a batch, but these are really super. I don't know if they're freezer friendly. Another friend was posting saying, I need some freezer friendly meals. And really a lot of the recipes in my book are totally freezer friendly. So you can absolutely make, like what was, I think day 3, day 4, the soup. The corn coconut soup, which you can totally make with, totally make it and freeze it. So I'm losing my train of thought today. So just whip all of those up, and then into this, which I'm going to pour into the muffin tins. Then I think it's like a 350 oven. Yes, I'm going to ask Logan to pop that on, because I cook this, and then this is what we have for dinner as well. So it's not just you. Today I'll do a post up on this on sproutright.com. I had for lunch today what I'm gonna now call my my leftover bowl or leftover salad or soup or something like that. Yes, Logan's waving her arm at me.
Oh, Crystal's just waving and saying hi.
Hello, Crystal. How was your day? You're still in hopefully sunshine today, as we are in. I think the snow's passed. It's not really looking like it, but yeah, that was not nice to see today. Some snow. It was freezing on my walk today, and there was a dusting of snow, a little bit like icing sugar. By the time I was walking out towards the lake, it was kind of all over everywhere where I was going. But on my way back, it was pretty much melted, because there was actually some lovely sunshine, and so that was really, really nice. But man, it was chilly. I had all sorts of layers on today. And I threw an extra jacket on just in case, and boy, oh boy, am I glad that I did that. So just put pretty much everything into the measuring cup. God, I can't even get my words out today. Put everything into the measuring cup, and then we just pour it in. And I'm even going to make, did you watch or happen to catch yesterday's? I made a large piece of trout, and that actually is what I'm going to sprinkle on top. Logan's flailing her arms again. Yes.
I'm not flailing.
She's not flailing, she says. Yes, Logan.
Crystal just said it's unbearably 70. That's really hot.
It's a bit unbearable 70? That's not that hot for California. That's pretty good, though. I'd rather that than snow.
Oh, wait. Fair.
That's for sure. Absolutely. Actually, I better just throw the rest of this in, because I'm not really going to use this. I could put it in a salad tomorrow, but this is the kind of recipe that you want to just like empty the fridge of all of those little bits, because sometimes they're not quite looking so savory. They're looking a little bit on the dehydrated side, and it's the perfect place to put them. Like if they're slimy or whatever, then I probably wouldn't necessarily do that. I'd give them a good clean if they're still not looking so great, but it's really, really easy to just use up all those little bits. I'm going to use the red onion, I think, instead, and just help out our livers a little bit more, because onions contain what's called sulfur containing amino acids, and they're really, really great for helping detoxification, for supporting all that our liver has to do. Because even if we lived like in a perfect bubble without pollution and all the issues of global warming and all of those things that we breathe in every single day, our body really produces a whole bunch of stuff that it needs to work through in your liver. So the more garlic and onions that you have in your diet, the more support you're offering to your liver and all of its detoxification properties. I think most of the time when I'm talking with clients and trying to find out how their liver is doing, my considerations are things like, how's their skin? Are they, are they suffering with some forms of acne? Obviously, that's a big one for teenagers because their body's just a great big hormone storm for the most part. And then also the other really, really big thing is how are they feeling in the morning? Do you wake up feeling like you've got some brain fog? You know, that kind of like, oh, don't really want to get out of bed. Right now it's a bit like Groundhog Day, but generally speaking, are they feeling a little bit on the foggy side in the morning? Because that can definitely be a sign of the fact that you have not detoxified overnight. So if you've had a late night drink, if you've had a late night meal, sometimes you can feel more sluggish the next day. So see what you can do. Just change things up because you've got a little bit of extra time to and maybe brain bandwidth, maybe not, to notice what are you eating before you go to bed? What are you drinking before you go to bed? Are you having water? Are you having some people can drink coffee before they go to bed and not be affected by it. So what's going on in your life? And also, when was your last meal or snack? If you find yourself on the couch every evening and you're having maybe some chips, maybe you're having some popcorn, or that's when you're having ice cream or some sort of snack or whatever it happens to be, see if you can consume your food within a 12-hour period. Because what that means is that when you stop eating, then your body has 12 hours in which to process and work everything through your liver and not have to digest, because it takes a long time to get to a place where your body is not needing to digest. So that 12 hours is fantastic, and sometimes it does really make a big difference to how you feel in the morning, how you roll out of bed, maybe even what side of the bed you roll out of in terms of your mood and how you're feeling, how bright you're feeling, how ready for the day you are. So there are a lot of foods that you can eat. Beets, I talked about that yesterday in the beet salad, having beets maybe for dinner. And I also meant to mention, in case you end up seeing that you have pink urine, then that can be because you don't have enough stomach acid. So check in with yourself if you see, whoa, what's going on with my pee? It's not even dark, light, there's that too, because if you want your urine to really be like a light straw color, that would be ideal. It means that you're hydrated, that you've been drinking enough water throughout the day. If it's not, then go ahead and have another glass of water. It can change pretty quick. And but if you end up after eating beets, like I made the beet and carrot slaw last night, then you might need to look into how are you digesting your food. So that's another question. Those are the kind of things that I talk about with my clients. What happens when you eat beets? Do you, does anything change? Do you notice anything different? So it's a really good sort of foodie type test that you can do. So I've got a little bit of cilantro left over. I used a little bit of that in the salad last night, and even then I was really, really going for it by trying to get as many of the leaves out as possible, and I had a few left, so the rest of this is done, but I did a pretty good job of finishing it up. I'm not going to bother using that because I've already got the other onions in there, and this is pretty thick. So as you can see that, Logan, when you're looking in the screen? You can see that I've got a lot of stuff going on there, and I haven't even put the fish in. I'm actually just going to sprinkle the fish on the top. That tends to work a little bit better that way. So because these are pretty wobbly, these little silicone buddies here, I'm going to put them onto a baking tray because I have tried it before where I think, I can do it. It's not a problem. Don't worry about it. I'll just get these into the oven. So we are going to cook these on a 350 oven. It does take 25 to 30 minutes for these to cook. They puff up so high and they look absolutely incredible. And then not too long after, they kind of like sink back down again. So they're pretty cool when they first come out. So let me put these on my trusty baking tray, just like this. And then you kind of gotta whip them up. And this is where it gets kind of messy, so I'll try and do this with a spoon. I bet you think I've got like the magic drawer underneath. I actually have 3 massive drawers because I kind of notice that when I forget something, it's like, oh, nothing's too far in this kitchen, which is quite lucky. So let's see how much of a mess I make of these. Oh, not too bad. So ideally, if you have this in a measuring cup, then you can pour it in like this, and it's gonna get more tricky. A little trick that I learned from watching Jamie Oliver's recipes is to have the over spillage, have this spoon just to try and catch the drips. I'm gonna have to fix that one, otherwise everything kind of burns. So if you end up with one that doesn't really have too much in it, you're gonna end up with a bit of a mess here. Then you can just go back with your spoon and give it a little bit more love with some more ingredients. So when you make anything in these little silicone cups, whether it's the mini muffins that are in my book, I think we should make some muffins one day on this cook together series, and yeah, I think that would be fun. I think we're gonna do a lovely chicken dish tomorrow night, and also I'm changing the way in the next 2 days. By Thursday, what day is it today? Tuesday. By Thursday, then I'm going to change it up a little bit. Whereas if you want the recipe, I'm going to post the ingredients. That might work a bit better. I'm going to post the ingredients on the Facebook page and also on Instagram. If you do actually want to cook along with me at the same time, or maybe you're just watching and then you're going to get some inspiration for another time, then I'm going to email you the recipe. A couple of people have said, well, it's hard to get the recipe off of Instagram, and you got to keep opening your phone and all those kind of things. So over on sproutright.com/cook together, just stick in your email, and then we know where to send the recipes to you. So every day you'll get the recipes. Every day you'll still get the ingredients on social media, and then you'll be able to see that. So here I have, and I've probably got about half left over, so I'm going to put those into the big ice cube trays, into the big muffin tins. But Logan, could I have the coconut oil, please? Because I'm just going to put a little bit around those. They shouldn't really stick, but I'll just do it for good measure. So here I have the fish that's left over from last night, and I will, thank you very much. And can you put the oven on to 350, please? Because like I said, we're gonna have these for dinner tonight too. So I've got a little bit of, I think that's about 180. We have a backwards oven. Not a backwards oven, we have a Celsius oven, I think it is. So let me just move those out of the way. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of fish into each one of those. You can just put everything into the measuring cup as well as you're pouring it out. But certainly if you're using, that was the overflowing one. Certainly if you're using a tin of anything, then you can just mash it up and throw a little bit in. Sometimes all the good stuff gets stuck at the bottom. Just gonna move that off there. And then before I throw it in the oven, I will just use some paper towel, maybe transfer it to another baking tray, because that will just make a big, nice uncaked mess if I do that. So, any comments or questions there, Logan? Nope. You've never really been watching? Mm-hmm. So, Logan did get her raspberries out, but she doesn't have raspberries on. For anybody that saw her yesterday, she had raspberries stuck on the ends of her fingers like she did when she was like 2 years old, because even though she's 16, she still likes to eat the raspberries by sticking them on the end of your fingers.
Yes,
and then just taking them off. Pardon?
Yes, I'm 16. I may have the mentality of a 2-year-old, but
it just shows you that some things, doesn't matter how old you are, you still enjoy doing that because it's a lot of fun. It's a fun way to eat raspberries. Because why not? They're like little hats, aren't they? Taste like little sunshine hats.
No, I want raspberries, thanks.
Yeah. Did I say raspberries or strawberries?
You said raspberries.
Okay, that's what I meant. Okay, So there is the beauties, except for my little over spillage. So those guys are ready, and then I'm going to just line this. It's a little bit maybe non-stick, which I don't love, but I do like the size of this. This is where we make our protein muffins, and for anybody that would like a flourless protein muffin made with bananas and peanut butter and of course chocolate chips, because Hadley's making them. And even when I said that looks like a few too many chocolate chips, like, no Mom, don't be silly. Anyway, it's a hilarious video. If you saw Hadley making the blender pancakes, not only is she just super cute, but also she has a big blooper in the middle of it, and she asked me to edit it out, which of course I didn't. So her little blooper is still right there in the middle, and at the end of the video, then there still is the still are the outtakes that I left in when I edited it. So so you can search on Leanne's it's on Sproutrate's YouTube channel, and subscribe while you're there. We just hit 100 subscribers. Woohoo! So when you head over there, you can just subscribe there, and then as soon as I post a video, then it'll just pop up there. So it's really funny. And one of Hadley's little buddies was where they were having a video chat, so I called out, go and have a look at our video, because it's really funny. And of course Hadley's absolutely mortified. So I mean, do we not as parents get to do that, embarrass our children sometimes? I'm sure Logan's gonna, I'm getting the eyeball from Logan. No. Behind the camera. She's like, no, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. You're not even in behind the camera, so you can read the comments.
Yes, I am. I can read. Mm-hmm. I do have eyes.
Upside down and back to front, so that she can have a little cuddle with Lexi.
Isn't that a problem?
So there we go. I didn't quite make it to a full large tin. If I hadn't gone over the top on those other ones, but I will put a little bit of trout into these, just like that, and hey presto, they are ready to go. So not only will we have probably we've got some leftover carrots from the other day, we've got some leftover beet and carrot slaw from last night. I don't know, there's just a mixed bag of leftovers in the fridge, which we're going to use up. And I don't need to use the trout tonight. We'll add that into something else. Maybe we'll do a trout melt instead of a tuna melt, and just slap some of this on with some cheese on top tomorrow, on maybe some homemade buns or something that Logan might decide to do in the middle of all of her tons of schoolwork, which doesn't really sound like lots of schoolwork. I haven't quite got all of that figured out. So that's all done. I didn't add any salt or pepper. You can totally do that if you want to. Pepper is always a favorite of mine to add in. And into the oven, this is going to go for about 25 minutes. Yes, Logan?
Sandra Martin?
Yes.
She just waved.
Hi, Sandra. I'll see you later. We're going to have a lovely video chat later with some other friends, so look forward to that. So, if this is some inspiration for you, Sandra, for dinner, and also makeshift for breakfast. So, I will be eating these for a few days still. So, yes. Logan, is there somebody else?
Auntie Donna is here.
Oh, hi, Donna. How you doing? I hope everybody in Burlington is all right. Yes, Logan.
She said hi to you in a little red heart.
Oh, and Logan's behind the camera. She's my tech expert. Even though I got clever yesterday and I thought, right, let's schedule the Facebook Live. And then I couldn't figure out how to post the video under it. There has to be a way, but I couldn't find it. Yes, Logan.
Auntie Donna said miss you.
Miss you too. Oh, gosh, yeah, we must organize a video call so that we can do more than cook and all that kind of stuff. It'd be lovely to catch up. And I've actually heard from a couple of very lovely friends in England lately, and that was nice. So I think we are finding time to connect with people that we haven't connected with for a little while. So feel free to connect with me. You can subscribe to my weekly newsletter that goes out every Friday. If you want the recipes, as of Thursday, we're going to email those out. Go to sproutright.com/cook together, and that will let me know where to email you all of the recipes. Reach out on social media. I do very often post some questions. I've got 2 radio segments tonight, one on News Talk 1010, which is local to Toronto, at 9:30, and then another one at 10:30, which is a pre-tape for like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So there's always things that I'm doing throughout the week that maybe if you missed it, then I pop that into the newsletter at the end of the week, just so you have a bit of a roundup of things to go into the weekend with some more ideas. And I think YouTube is almost updated with all the cook together videos, so if you're really stuck for what on earth to make, the bean burgers are there. There's soup there. What else have we done, Logan? We've done sweet potato fries. We've done the chicken with garlicky, cheesy sweet potatoes, the apple crumble, the overnight French toast. I mean, we're up to 18 days now. So there's something in there for everyone that I hope that you really enjoy. So I'm going to go put these in the oven, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Please remember to go to sproutright.com/cook together so that you can get the recipes and keep on being inspired with new ideas. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a lovely evening, and I'll see you then. Bye.